Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Appopedia, and I'm Ratna Priya. As you know that we are covering industry order management up to 11th part. We already covered up, so some part is left out. So in this videos we try to cover up, and if you guys are new on my channel, please do subscribe to my channel and leave your constructive feedback so that I can improve myself as well as my videos, and I can serve my skills to you guys. So without wasting the time, let's get started. So as you see my screen that I cover up to line item action where we saw move, add, modify and disconnect. This disconnect part is left out. So as I will never suggest you to jump in this video directly, because it all cover and linked with the previous task where we can see the Spotify we created in the last previous 3 to 4 lectures where we saw the same orchestration plan definition. We will cover up in this, and we will try to implement disconnect line item action with the one-to-one decomposition. So I just wanted to recap you that scope is by default always be global, and the radio type by default is always be milestone. So in the radio type we cover up milestone, push event and system and call out, and one topic is left out we will cover in the further lectures. So in this task we have to cover up disconnect one-to-one disconnect action with one-to-one decomposition, where we have to create orchestration plan definition. As you are already aware of this, if you are not watch my previous lectures of industry order management, I highly recommend to watch that one, because you will not able to understand what I am talking to and what I am using in this video, because all are linked with the previous lectures. So if you see that courses we are covering in this lecture, that disconnect part, that is MACD orchestration. So just go and use the link and try to read out this as well. So in this step we have to add disconnect action. That disconnect action is a line item action to the association scenario, and we have to create end-to-end simulation. Simulation is nothing but orchestration plan definition for the disconnect action. Same thing, we will use the create Spotify disconnect SMS simulation, Spotify disconnect billing simulation, and create Spotify disconnect provision simulation, and create orchestration dependency definition for the disconnect action. And then at the last we have to check that disconnect action it is working in the orchestration plan or not. So let's move to the review. And this table we already discussed in the last I think so second last lecture. I will go back and try to recall you. So go into the 116 page number. There you can see we cover up add action with creating all this, and I already discussed in very deeply in that last lectures where I discussed all the table, and here it is the line item action where we covered all the association and subscription type. This is the attribute where we select premium, family. All these things I already discussed in deep in the last lecture. So just go and watch if you are not able to recall yourself, and come back to the lecture. So where we already cover modify and add. So now we will use disconnect line item action where we have to just confirm the cancellation SMS, and then cancellation confirmation we will give. If it is confirmed, then it will go to the farewell SMS, and if it not, then we have to deactivate bill and orchestration to the end. So now we will go to the task 145. We have to go. Okay, it's not 145, it's little lower. So now the first step we have to create orchestration plan definition. In the scope by default it's a global, so we have to create all this orchestration plan with the so orders. Let's do it. So I am back in the orchestration plan definition. We have to click new, and then we have to copy this one, and then we have to one by one we have to create all the plan definitions. So let's do it. And order should be 1. Save and new. I will create in fast mode, and order should be this 2, and then we have to again copy it, and we have to create another that So order should be 3. Let's do the 3 and save and new. And then we have to do fourth one, that is Spotify disconnect provision, and so order should be the 4 one, and then last save. Now we have to create, and we have to now go into the task 3, that is stage 3, add disconnect action to the acceleration scenario. So now we have to go to the Spotify acceleration. Let's move to there. So yeah, I'm search it, and then you can be already up there. Spotify's acceleration orchestration plan definition. Then we have to open it, and then we have to go to the edit scenario. Okay, Spotify acceleration scenario we have to edit, and we have to change action to the disconnect. We have to add one more action. As I already told, we discussed the previous lectures, we discussed add and modify, so left only the disconnect. So let's add it, and then we have to save it. Let's do the save, and then we have to go into the next what they are saying, end-to-end symlane for the disconnect. Now we have to go and create 2 new milestone tasks with the 2 different names, and I already just recall you that scope having the by default is global, and the radio type by default is a milestone. We don't have to change any radio step, and we have to create symlane, that is orchestration plan. Okay, let's do it. So now I search the orchestration plan definition, and I will go in the scenario. Let's do the scenario new, not scenario. We have to create orchestration item definition. There you can see select a radio type, that we have to select only the milestone, and then we have to do not have to change. Okay, we have to change the scope. By default it should be global. Now we have to copy the first name for the start, that is the orchestration item definition, and then we have to save new, and then again we have to create another item, orchestration item. Then we have to copy this name to the disconnect, Spotify disconnect end. For the start we create one item, and for the disconnect end we have to create another items, orchestration items. So now we have to create new orchestration scenario, and then we have to for the orchestration, and then we have to create orchestration scenario. Let's do that. We have to scenario, we have to copy the name, and then we have to paste it here in the scenario name, and then we have to add the same product. The product should be Spotify RFS. Let's copy this one and paste it here, and then save it, and then add the action should be the disconnect. Let's add the action to the disconnect. Only add action to be disconnect, we have to choose back to the add, and then save. See, recall that default action is that be sure to remove the add action. Yeah, we already done that, and then we have to save it. Now we have to go next, and then we have to edit what they're saying. Each time Spotify product is placed in the order and order is decomposed, so we cannot trigger again, as you already know that if order is already decomposed, we cannot withdraw that one. We need to create another order if you wanted to use it, or you can clone it, or you can make another version of it. So what they are saying, if order is decomposed, the Spotify disconnect is E2E scenario will be trigger and generate execution for a new orchestration plan for the E2E symlane based on the disconnect line item action. So what they are saying, if the order is decomposed, as we already created the order, you can see here, this is the order and we already decomposed. So what happened in this case, the order is decomposed. So now the line item action that will directly generate and trigger that action to be disconnect or cancel the request. That is the major use of disconnect action. So now we have to go next. We have to disconnect the SMS symlane. So we have to again create a orchestration line item action under Spotify disconnect plan definition. So let's search this one, and then we have to go next and just open the line item action. We have to create tool with the radio type should be milestone and scope should be global. Just make sure you will check all these things and then save it. Okay, by default radio type must be the what? Milestone, and then scope should be the global, and then save it, save and new. Now we have to create another orchestration item. Let's do it. Create another one. Radio type should be the milestone and scope should be the global, and then save it. You have to recall yourself all the time so that you can able to remember all these things whenever you have that scenario given by your mentor or any client. Then you can recall yourself, okay, why we have to doing these things. So now we have to create an orchestration scenario. Now let's go to the orchestration scenario, and then we have to paste the name of the scenario, and then we have to search the orchestration product. We have to just see why we are always the, if you're doing action to the other scenario or plan definition, then what with the common is the product. If you notice that previously also we use the same product name while we are creating the orchestration item, and here also. So just make sure you will see all these things and use it perfectly. Now we added the action as well. Now we have to move forward, and then we have to see again, we have to create a line orchestration item for billing. So let's search for the orchestration plan definition. I copy and paste it for the billing. So Spotify disconnect, billing, deactivate. Now we have to create one item where we created two items for start and end. Now we have to create one item in this one, and scope should be global, and then save it. Now we have to go next, and then we have to again create a scenario. Obviously we have to create scenario, otherwise we cannot able to trigger that disconnect or line item action. And the product should be the common Spotify RFS. Yeah, so the product should be the common, otherwise it will not come up with the line item action. Where you will apply, what was the intermediate path? The product is the intermediate path, that is a common product where we can add all these actions, line item actions. So now we have to go to the next task, that is we have to Spotify disconnect provision. We have the another plan definition. Let's search it, and then we have to create another orchestration plan items. Under orchestration plan definition, we have to create another item. Let's do it, and the scope should be the radio type should be the milestone, scope should be the global, and then we keep the name, that is Spotify disconnect provision decommission. Okay, now we have to create a orchestration scenario under the same disconnect provision. Okay, and then we have to, the product should be the RFS only. Yeah, okay, now we have to copy the name and then paste it, and then we have to add. Now we have to add the disconnect action and remove the add action and save it. Up to here we added all the scenario and items for the each orchestration plan definition. Now we have to add the dependency definition for the line item action. We have to add the dependency action so that it will trigger and it will show the orchestration plan definition. So now we will go to this plan, that is Spotify disconnect E to E, that we first time we will change that items and added the items. So now we have to add the dependency under that same plan definition. Let's do that. So now they are saying for the Spotify disconnect end task upon to the Spotify acid tries task. So we have to depend this task, this orchestration item to this orchestration item. So now we have to go into this orchestration item, that is Spotify disconnect end, and then we have to go into the related tab, and then we have to create a dependency definition. Let's do the same. Scope should be the global. Okay, now we have to type should be the dependent on, and save it. Okay, we have to add the dependency item definition, that should be this one. Okay, sorry, this is the name and this is the dependency item, and then we have to save it, because we have to Spotify disconnect end is dependent on Spotify acid tries task. Okay, this is the dependency item definition. There we have this dependent, which one? This one, that is Spotify disconnect end. Now we have to do the another dependency definition in the Spotify disconnect SMS plan. Now we have to go into the orchestration plan and search this one. Okay, now orchestration plan definition, and then we have to go into the which item we have to do that. That is the SMS cancel confirmation. Now we have to go the SMS cancel definition confirmation, that is orchestration item definition. Now we have to go into the related tab. Now we have to copy the orchestration dependency definition name, that is this, the whole name you have to paste it here, and the which item definition they are dependent, that is Spotify disconnect start. This is the dependency item definition. The scope should be the global and the dependency type should be the dependent on, and then save it. Now we have to go to the another scenario, that is not scenario, that is orchestration plan definition, that is Spotify disconnect SMS. Now we have to copy this one and we have to search it. So up to here we use Spotify disconnect SMS, and then we saw that orchestration Spotify disconnect E2. So the left one is provision is left out. So let's do this one and then we will do next. And then we have to, which one they are asking for to do that, that is Spotify SMS farewell task. Okay, then we have to go to orchestration item definition, under which it is find Spotify disconnect SMS, and then we have to define the dependency definition. Just copy the name of this one and then paste it here. Okay, and now we have to add the dependency item definition. For which one we are doing that? Spotify disconnect SMS cancel confirmation. So just remember and link all these things, which one is which dependent on which dependency definition. So you have to remember all this, then you will able to understand. If you are not able to recall yourself, just try to open in the sidebar, just open this table and you will just link all these things according to this. By practice you will able to understand. First try to cover up this one, and then we have to, at the last we are doing the billing. We have to open orchestration disconnect billing, and then we have to, only one item is there, so we have to link this item to the disconnect, and then we have to add orchestration dependency definition with the name of this one. Just copy this one and then paste it here. And now which item definition you need to add? Disconnect SMS cancel confirmation. So this item is dependent on two orchestration dependency definition. Okay, let's do it. After search you have to click the, otherwise it will fetch one error. Okay, so this dependency item definition we used for the disconnect billing. Inside the disconnect billing plan definition, which item we are seeing? We are covering disconnect billing deactivate, and same thing to the another plan, that is Spotify disconnect SMS plan orchestration. That is for which item they are doing? For SMS plan, SMS farewell item, we use the same dependency item definition. Okay, and for for one is Spotify asset rise and the another is Spotify disconnect start. So now we will move forward. After that billing, and then we have to go Spotify disconnect provision plan. Now we have to search this one in the orchestration plan. Let's go to there, and then we have to open this one, and then we have to copy under which item definition they are asking. Spotify disconnect provision decommission. Then we have to go into this one, and inside the related tab we have to add a dependency definition. Just paste the name and which dependency item definition they are asking, the same one. See, this same dependency item definition we are using for three plans. This Spotify disconnect provision plan, billing, and then disconnect SMS plan. Okay, so now we have to add into it, and then just remember all these things, because you will see in the orchestration plan, when after decompose the order we will see all these things. So just remember all these things. Okay, and then last plan definition is left, that is Spotify asset price plan definition. We have to open it, and under which item they are asking is Spotify asset price. So under this one we have to go, and then we have to define orchestration dependency definition. Okay, now create new, and then name should be the this one. Just copy and paste it, and which item they are asking, Spotify disconnect billing deactivate. Okay, now we have to add this one, and then the scope should be the global, and then save it. So up to here we add all the dependency. Okay, now we have to test the disconnect line item action is working fine or not after adding all this. So we have to now create a new order for a new consumer account. Okay, and add a Spotify to the cart. Let's do it. So now we will add one order. Okay, create new order. I will directly clone this one. Let's do the previous order. I will just clone this one and let it load. Okay, now we have to clone it. Why I'm cloning? I'm not creating another one, because I need to fill all these things, and it's taking time. Okay, so now we have to just do it 2. I will just write it 2. An order I already had, and then we have to save it. Okay, is showing error because of account. Let me correct it. No, because not account, because it's already activated, so we have to go with the draft. Then, because I already told you, the if the order is decomposed already, we cannot decompose it again, or we can use it again, so we have to create another order. So that's why I'm creating it. So now we have to add the Spotify into the card. Let's do the configure the order, and then we have to add it. Let it load. So now we have, now I already search it, and then we have to add it into the card, and then we have to decompose it and change to the order. Okay, let's do that. Then we have to decompose it. Let's do the decompose. So order is decomposed. Now we have to go into the view orchestration plan. Before view orchestration plan, the action is what is showing, add. Okay, now we have to check the status. Okay, so now we will check the status is completed, so it will come with the green, right? And then it's coming with the green. Now we have to go Spotify asset rise, it is also is in green, so that means the auto task is also done. Okay, now we have to perform change to order. Now perform, we have to change order to, now we have to go into the, now we have to add, now we have to configure that the Spotify type, that is premium or family. Okay, to premium I take premium, and then we have to decompose it. So before I just by default we have to take, without I taking the Spotify subscription die, I decompose it. So yeah, we have to decompose it with choose the that is the attribute, without taking that attribute, because all these are things based on the attribute. As you can see, this attribute is according to value of this one, it is activating, deactivating. So I just forget it, and then I did the decomposition. Let it load, and then we will see the next. Now they are saying to check the orchestration plan status is okay or not. So let's do to the orchestration view plan. Now we have to check status. As you can see, its state is completed. So orchestration plan is already orchestrated. Now we have to see, now as you remember that previous lectures we saw, if the order is completed, then it is in the green color. If it is the is in pending or is in skipped mode, that means it is come with the green gray color, and in the blue color if orchestration is auto start, yeah, auto task. Okay, and that like manually we have to trigger it, then it will come with the green color. Okay, blue color, sorry. Now we have to check, they are saying perform change to order on the existing Spotify asset in the account. Now we have to do this one. So as we have to perform change to order, so we have to go into the account, as we already clone that same order. So we have to go the LM Aber, that is the account, and inside the service asset management we have to see the assets. So I think so we will let it load. Okay, so it's too many, so we can do one thing, we will delete this order and try to make another one, because they're saying for a new user, otherwise the same Spotify will be added for 2-3 times. So other order will be also hampered with this one, which one we have to do. So let's delete this one and we will create another one. So delete the order, let's create another order, because by mistake, okay, we have to change the first status. So we have to change the status to be draft, and then we have to delete it, otherwise it will not delete. Okay, so now we have to create another, let's delete it. So first we have to change the status, that should be the draft, and then we have to save it, and then we have to delete it. So let's delete this one, and then we have to create another order. So let's do the another order, let it load. So now let's create with the Spotify, and I will take the name Spotify disconnect test. Okay, and then B2C. Okay, and then we have to write white Nova. I just take white Nova. I think so I haven't used this one for the Spotify account, so yeah, just save it. So order is created, now we have to configure it, and same thing we have already repeated this one, and we have to add the Spotify. So let's add that Spotify first, and then we will use the same way we have to add. First we have to configure, and we have to add the subscription type, either premium or family. I will just choose premium, and the number of accounts would be the 1 to 5, in between we have to add it. Okay, now let's 5. Okay, now let's close this one, and now we have to decompose it. Okay, once again you can check, because sometime it will take and sometime it will not take. So okay, now it's take that, so decompose it, and now it will. So now we have to check that status of orchestration plan with the state, it is completed or not. Let's confirm it, and then we will move forward. So you can see the state is complete. So now we have to, what we have to perform, order change to order. So now what we have to do, we have to search the account where we added. So right now we added, now we have to go into it, and then inside the service asset management, inside the asset, let it load. So now inside the assets, okay, yeah, Spotify is there. Now we have to select it, and we have to choose the change to order. Let's do the change to order, because that is needed to be, perform it, then only we can disconnect the order. So now after this one, we have to, now feature date order should be the same one. Now we have to click next, and now it will come back. After change to order, that you can see the action before it was added, now it is existing. So now what if they are saying, now they are saying to delete that from the drop down. Let's delete it, let's do the delete it, and do not forget to close that orchestration plan which is already open. So if your order is decomposed in decompose mode, it will not change to the order, so we have to close that page. Okay, now let's delete it. Now you can see action directly changed to the disconnect, so that we needed to be done here. So now we test that disconnect action is working fine. Now we have to decompose it. Let's do the decompose it, and then we will see the orchestration plan, where we can see disconnect means the farewell. See, disconnect means the confirm cancel SMS will be, cancellation confirm will be yes. Then we will show that farewell SMS. Okay, then deactivate the billing and provision Spotify disconnect. And if the disconnect deactivate billing is correct, then we have to go to the association, and then it will come to the end. So now we have to check in the orchestration. The same thing will come needed to be in the orchestration plan. Okay, there you can see. Let's zoom little bit. Then you can see Spotify disconnect E to E, that we already connected, and same thing that you can see disconnect here also disconnect, because we cancel the order after adding the order into the change to firstly we have to add the order that we done, then the existing order is there, then we will change the order, and again after changing the order we delete it. So that's come under the disconnect. You can see before it was coming with the add. Now we have to go in the orchestration view plan. Let's go to the orchestration plan, let it load. Now you can see this one is E to E, the Spotify disconnect, it is coming. Before it was coming with the add one. It is completed, and why it is coming with the green, that the order is completely, the status is complete. Okay, the same thing is coming SMS disconnect SMS. We linked the same thing to the this orchestration item with the use of dependency definition. Here also you can see disconnect, Spotify disconnect. These are true. So that means the cancellation confirmation is yes. So that's why it is coming to the Spotify disconnect. And after deactivating the billing, where we go? We will go to the Spotify asset that you can see in the chat. Deactivate the billing, acceleration, and then end. So same thing you can see Spotify disconnect billing. It is coming the Spotify disconnect and then Spotify asset rise. Okay. The same thing will be see in the Spotify. This is the section. This is the show order that we created in the whole orchestration plan scenario. Plan with the show order. So this is the plan, and then Spotify disconnect provision is also come with the disconnect. So here you can see the deactivate billing is coming with the Spotify disconnect. Then it will go to the Spotify asset rise. Then it will come to the end. Here it is the end, Spotify disconnect. So that's it for this task, and last some tasks are left out. So just read all the details where if you missed anything you wanted to recall yourself or wanted to clear out with this. So up to here in this video we cover up all the related disconnect task. So we will move a next task in the next video. Till then, stay tuned and stay safe, and do not forget to subscribe my channel. Bye bye.